bless you, Washington Northwest Ecclesiastical Jurisdiction. Thank you for this distinguished honor of you honoring my mother, missionary Helen Hicks. I have the pleasure of letting you know what she meant to me as a first lady. Of course, I am wearing one of her beautiful hats. You know, her hats always sparkled and shined, and she dressed, oh my God, could she dress? But more than that, she was a woman of substance, a praying woman, a powerful woman, a preaching woman, an anointed woman of God. Two beautiful nuggets that she left with me as a first lady. The first was she told me, never sit with your back to the people. Always sit to where you can see who's walking in the door and who's watching your husband. That was Mother Hicks. The second thing she told me was to make sure that my family was my first ministry, that I took care of my husband and that I took care of my son, and to make sure that they knew that they were my first priority before anything else. I believe I've done just that. 9 years later, redeemed by the blood, Pentecostal Church of God in Christ is going strong, and we're doing well and we're thriving. Again, thank you so much for this wonderful honor of appreciating my mother, Mother Helen Hicks. I loved her voice. Sometimes I hear her singing in my ear. I was just sitting here thinking just how good God has been to me. God bless you and thank you.
The hat of a mother. My mother was very loving and kind to a fault. We didn't lose any time with her, even though she wore many hats, but her as a mother, she made sure that she had time for her children. She always taught us to be strong. She taught us the ways of life. She taught us that no one was better than us. She taught us to always try to be at the top of our game. Mom was hilarious, as everybody probably would know. She was just really funny, and it was a different way how she would do things. She was really wanted to keep us up front all the time. And I remember a time when, well, there's a couple things I want to share. When we were small, you know, growing up, and she would dress us up for church, and she'd go, oh, you guys look so nice. And she would tell my brother, you look so handsome. And she would say, make sure when offering time come, y'all walk around the front to come get some offering from me. And we thought that was so cute, because she just would want everyone to see, you know, how her children were. Another one that I liked when I wasn't paying my bills correctly, and there was a collection agency calling me, and I was dodging them. Then one time they snatched the money out of my checking account, and I cried. I picked up the phone, called Mom, and I said, Mom, the collection agency, you know, snatched the money out of my account. And she started laughing, and she said, come on over, baby. So I came over, and she helped me out with the money. But when I left, she gave me a hug and a kiss, and she whispered in my ear, she said, I bet you gonna pay your bills next time, ain't you? You got you some bought sense. And so we laughed at that, and we even laugh at that today, because that's true. So one thing that I could say that she taught us was to pay our bills. Mommy, I love you. Rest in peace.
Hi, my name is Angelia Hicks Maxey, and I am the oldest daughter of Bishop Hicks and Mother Helen Hicks. And today I'm not wearing a hat, but I'm wearing a relaxed scarf to kind of remind you of one of the hats that Mother Hicks wore. This is not a fancy hat. This is not a leisurely hat. This is a working scarf. And that's what my mom was. She was a worker. She started Tiny Tots Development Center in 1969 by keeping my brother and myself as her first clients and 3 other children. And then Tiny Tots grew to where we are today. 6 site locations serving over 430 families and children, and with the new site, the Othello site, opening up this year in September. My mom instilled in me the ethics of working hard and putting it in until the job was done. She drove the bus, she cooked, she taught the children. Any job that was needed to be done, she did it. She was the first bookkeeper. She was all of the above. And she loved it. That's what people don't realize is my mom loved childcare. And she loved the children and families she served down through the years. Tiny Tots will turn 53 years old this coming September. And we will never forget the labor of love of my mom, Mrs. Helen Hicks, who was and will forever be known as the CEO of Tiny Tots. We love you, Mom, and thank you all for spending this time celebrating Mother Helen Hicks. And today, I share just a glimpse of what she was as the director, owner, CEO, and founder of Tiny Tots.
This is Reverend Barbara Lawson from Bastrop, Louisiana. I am a friend of Sister Helen Hicks. We were friends for over 40 years, and in her remembrance and my remembrance of her, we would cruise. This is the reason I'm dressed for success. And we would shop until we dropped. And I miss her so, so much. So for now, take care and may God bless.
Hello, Washington Northwest Jurisdiction family. This is Clifton Maxey. Most of you know me as Scooter. And thank you to Lady Laura Witherspoon for reaching out to request that I send this video in to talk about how I would see my grandmother, the late Helen Hicks, when I would see her in a hat, how that would make me feel. And when I think about my grandmother, when she wore one of those nice hats, I could just think about the word that comes to me is elegance. And, you know, she was always just a prayerful woman and a great, powerful woman. But it was when she put on the hat, it just really was like the icing on the cake. And it just really brought just such a sense of elegance and class. And I'm actually thinking of a story. Once I picked up my grandpa and my grandma from Memphis. They came back from a convention. And so, as you know, the convention lasts about a week. But when I picked them up from the airport, they had to have like these guys pushing. They actually had some guys pushing like these big carts of luggage. I mean, it looked like they were probably going on a trip for a month. But most of the boxes, I think my grandma might have had maybe 2 or 3 whole hat boxes just for that trip. And so I also think about the preparation that it takes too in order to preserve those hats as well. And so that's just when I think of hats, and especially on my grandmother, I just think of elegance and class. And thank you to everyone, and I hope you enjoy this video.
I'm here to talk about the things that Mother Hicks and my mother had together. I remember the times that when they go to Memphis, we never had to worry about them because we know they were there for them. And I thank God. I thank God that they would go fishing and places like that. Not even Ocean Shores, when they bought their home up there. They welcomed my parents to come and stay a couple of nights with them, and they did. And I just thank the Lord for him. And I thank the Lord for how he did good things for my mother and for the Hicks family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much.
Hello, my name is Regina Rogers, and Mother Helen Hicks was my First Lady for over 20 years. When I think of Mother Hicks, the first thing that comes to mind is how she made me feel. Making this video made me quite emotional because I didn't realize how much I still miss Mother Hicks. So I had to put some things on paper so I would keep my thoughts on track. She made me feel special, not necessarily because she treated me better than she treated others, because I'm sure she made everyone else feel special as well. but it was just her kindness, her motherly love, her gentleness, her teaching me even at an older age how to even mother my grown son. I appreciated the information that she shared with me and the little pearls of wisdom and nuggets that I even use today. Mother Hicks wanted the very best for me. She wanted the best for me personally. She wanted the best for me spiritually. And she wanted the best for me professionally. And she would push me. She would push me, and I'm sure that I would not be where I am today if I didn't have someone like Mother Hicks, who was always stretching me. I appreciate that because I wanted to do a very tangible work for the Lord. And Mother Hicks and Pastor Hicks gave me that opportunity. They trusted me when they gave me something that I would get it done. And I didn't care what it took. I did not want to let them down. I did not want them to be disappointed. It was my great joy to see them happy. I enjoyed what I did for my pastor and for my first lady. And I enjoyed the response that they in turn, especially Mother Hicks, she would just be so excited. Pastor Anniversary was one of my times that I was responsible for pulling the program together. And it was always important to me that Pastor Anniversary was celebrated the way that they wanted to celebrate it. And it didn't matter what everyone else sort of wanted to do. If it wasn't going to make them happy, it sort of was a no-go for me. And even though I had a lot of rules, and anybody knows me, knows I have a lot of rules, whenever that week would come, I didn't care what rules I thought I might have had. It was important to me that the job got done according to how they wanted to do it. And if you know Mother Hicks, she planned up to the very minute of an event. And I couldn't quite handle that. But for that one occasion, I always made sure that she got what she wanted. It was important to me to see the smile on her face. And she did not disappoint. I am thankful and grateful that I had the opportunity to have her as my first lady. As I close, I'm reminded of a time that I was out of town. And I think I was gone for about a month. During this time, Mother Hicks took it upon herself to give me updates. So she would send me email, sometimes twice a week, on the goings-on that was happening in Seattle. And she would label or title the subject line, update. And inside of the email, it would be anything as small as what she did on that day or what her and Pastor Hicks were working on. Or it could have been something about that was going on with the daycare. Could have been about the church service on that week and how the Lord had blessed. Or it could be that she needed help with some big job coming up down the line. But at the very end, and she did this often in most emails. Now I hope you're getting some rest, because when you get back here, we got a lot of work to get done. And I appreciated that email. I got to the point that I just look forward to seeing the emails. And my mom, I remember one week I was at my mom's, and I think I was on some work trips as well, and I would share that with my colleagues or friends or whoever was around me at the time. And they thought it was just great that I had a first lady that would take the time to share with me what was going on in Seattle. But I felt especially privileged because she knew that I loved unity, and I loved her and Pastor Hicks, and I wanted nothing but the very best for them. But she also understood me, and she challenged me, and I appreciate Mother Hicks for challenging me in each and everything that I done. It did push me to my next level. And I thank God for the opportunity of her and Pastor that they gave to me. Angie, Jackie, Missy, thank you for sharing your mother with us. We're all better because of her. May God bless you. Love you guys.